Hello, everybody. um, there we go. We are live. Some technical difficulties today. Kind of stressful, but my boy 65 Lokes, as always, man, he hooked it up today. So, just pretty quick unboxing. I'm gonna do some other videos later. I'm probably gonna end up doing the Airbrush video starting tomorrow. Cause I'm beat. It's pretty late. But we'll see. I gotta get the compressor going and all that. Got a new compressor. I don't know if you can see it in the back. California Air Tools. Um, so what we got today is some Klear. I ordered from Coast Airbrush, so I get, I don't know, 80-90% of my stuff from Coast Airbrush. Oh, that's dope. They put it in quart. That's awesome. They always package really good. Everyone everyone packages pretty good. Coast Airbrush always comes through with their top line packaging and scale riders too. They're the best. Um, all right, so first off, right here is KUF21. So I got a couple different Klears. I got some bottles. Speaking of Edgar, here you go, bro. If you're watching, I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna send you some flat Klear. Um, some bottles right there. This is really cool. I've never seen these from Uline. That's dope. I've never got quartz like this. So Coast Airbrush, they're out there in LA. I forget they were in Anaheim. They're like 10 minutes away. They got a new address. Um, I'm sure most of you guys have heard of them. If you haven't, man, I've been going to them forever. I tell all my friends. I think that's it. I'm pretty sure that's all I got. Um, so a couple quarts. You know what? I'm gonna. Damn, these are nice and tight. Um, Pretty cool. So they don't FC21, so they don't leak or nothing like that. Okay, so FC21, that's gonna be your flat Klear. Um, UC01. Um, got two of those. And I got UC01, which is their show Klear. I already got the hardener for that. So this is what I do when I get these. Sorry, I'm all out of range, but I got both things going right here. Um, so one thing that I wanted to talk to you guys, actually, I could probably move this mic right here. So you got the FC21, the UC01, and the hardener. All these camera angles right there. All right, so I get quartz. You can get, I believe, the UCO1. You can get it from Coast in smaller quantities if you do small stuff. I normally just get quartz. I didn't even need this much matte clear, but I like I said, I always get quartz. You know, um, so in order to get it going, you got to add that KUF21 to the FC21, which is your matte. This is what I do. It's for flat clear. It is a flat clear. It's a 6-to-1 mix. All right. So what I do is I put 6-to-1 with a Sharpie. Okay, and then I put KUF. What is it? F21, right? So I write that on the can. I got this from my boy Noel. And it says right here, look, it says it right there. Some of the other cans, they don't say it. I guess maybe I have some older cans, but it's on there. But the reason why I put it on there and Noel came up with this genius idea is if you have this, put away, you're always gonna see the top, right? No one's gonna put their cans like this wherever you have them. Everyone stores them like this. So even if I have my Klear like this and I'm grabbing, I can be like, oh, there it is. And then we could add flat clear so you know what it is. Okay. Um, Same thing up here. You can put USCO1, and then we can do show clears house of color, so it's always spelled with a K, right? The UCO1 is 3 to 1 to 1. Okay, so 3 to 1 to 1. 3 parts of the clear, 1 part of the catalyst, and 1 part reducer. Okay, and it's KU152. Again, I have a big old quart of that. So you do it like that, um, and you're good to go. Uh, Nice little tip right there. As far as mixing Klear, this is what I use. Okay, I use these mixing spoons. All right, these are cool. These you got a Coast Airbrush too. A smaller one for smaller cups. For something like this, you can do this one. Or I don't know if you've seen those big cups where you mix for the painters. That's what this is for. You could actually do it with this. You got to mix it in there. Shake it first. Do that. So I'm gonna do a tape, and I'm gonna show you guys how I spray Klear. All right, it's not that difficult according to my friends and my sources. It is the most difficult thing for a lot of painters to do, and I respectfully don't understand why that is. So my job, my goal is to get you guys to the point where you guys are spraying this stuff like butter. Okay, I'll give you guys some tips right now in case you want to go ahead or you have something to paint. Um, CoStar. Speaking of CoStar brush, I have this model right here. Look, uh, Edgar gave me that. All right, this kind of looks like a speed shape. Uh, you can get um, these speed shapes at a Coast Airbrush for a couple dollars, whatever the hell they cost. I'm not sure what they cost, but um, they they kind of mimic this, okay? And what's cool about it is it has these little contours and stuff like that. I know David Money was talking about it the other day. Um, and what's awesome is you can use that to practice. One of the things that I feel that a lot of you guys are not doing is you're not practicing what is the art of either airbrushing or using a spray gun. And you get a model, for example, you start to build it and you're great at building, but you lack that experience in painting, and then when you go to spray it, you're insuring yourself and you make mistakes. For example, I had a buddy tell me that he sprayed something, right? He did like a coat and he called me and he's like, dude, it's all grainy and stuff, right? So when you do your first coat, all right, of Klear, it's like a think of it like almost it's a light coat. It's a mist coat, okay? It's like you're spraying glue, all right? The object is to get this going and to spray that like tack coat, right? Um, and you need to let it sit for a little bit, all right? You need to let it flash 10, 15 minutes, whatever this says. Um, Coast Airbrush, another great thing that they do that's awesome. I have the booklets; you can get them from them too. But right on their page on the paint, you could click on it and it tells you what the flash time is, 10 to 15 minutes. I think it's 10 to 15 for the flat and a little longer for this one, but you got to check what it is. Um, but the thing is, you got to let enough time go so that that clear starts to evaporate, starts to set before you put it on. Because if you throw another layer of clear or paint, it's gonna start to chemically react bad to it. Those are like pores, like gases that are releasing, that are drying, and as it dries, if you don't let it completely, what we call cure, and you spray over it and it's too wet, that's when you start to have problems. Okay, don't be afraid of clear. Clear is actually, I think, in a sense, it's actually easier than paint. All right. If this is, let's say it's white, right? This model right here. If this is uh completely painted white and I clear it, what's gonna happen is when let's say I get a drip, let's say I just overspray it and I get a bad, you know, drip or whatever. Leave it. Don't touch it. Just leave it the way it is. Let it dry. Once it dries, you got a razor blade and you shave it. That's it. You just shave until it's as flat as you can get it. You get some sandpaper, you sand it. In a lot of cases, I have seen my friends where they had a drip or something like that. And this is like on real cars, and they'll go in there and they'll shave it off. They'll sand it, and in buffing, you won't even be able to tell a difference. If it's that bad, you could sand it because remember, you're not hitting that paint, right? You could just sand it, respray your clear a little bit, and it should be good to go. Good to go. But like I said, don't be afraid to get in there and get that clear going. Um, and so the thing about the grainy thing, I don't have anything here, but when you spray it, sometimes, especially when you have like lettering and a lot of layers you did, graphics, gold leaf or whatever. So a lot of times when I start to clear, if I have something that has like lettering, I will spray the lettering first to bury that because it's gonna take more layers, right? To do that like gold leaf, that name. Okay. And so you spray it, give it a little tack coat, a little more, and a little more. Leave it, let it start to set. The sides of that are usually gonna start to grain up a little bit. It doesn't matter. You're shooting clear, right? Once you clear over that and you start to do your actual fan pattern, right? It'll even out. Okay, but what you don't want to do is start to do it even in the sense where you're doing even. You do 3 to 4 coats of clear or whatever, you're done, right? But then what'll happen is those letters that are higher than the rest of it will not be. They won't be properly covered. It'll dry, and it'll be fine enough, but it'll dry. And when you go to kind of to rub it, the painting or whatever, the artwork, you will feel that lip, right? Because it's not what we call buried in clear. So it's not like when if you're just doing a plain hood or like this plain car and you're just going over it, right? You're doing even passes. But when you have lettering or graphics, if you painted this car white and then you did a graphic along here that's blue or whatever, right? You added more paint over that white that you did. So if you did 3 passes of blue to get that blue, and then let's say in there you did some fades or something like that, you now have 6, 7, 8, 9 passes. So of course, the pass that you did with the white car, easy, right? You clear that quick. But when you get down to these other, you got to bury that first. So I hit that first so that line between what we said, that blue, that graphic, and that color, you start to bury that. You start to make it seamless, right? And as you start to bury that with quite a few coats, and then you even out the whole car, it all covers it all nice and sweet. Okay, so don't be afraid of the clear. It's really easy to do. It's really easy to mix. This show clear, this is awesome. This show clear, 3 to 1 to 1. You just got a lot, and that's another thing. A lot of people, for some reason, do not seem to understand how to mix. It's very simple. If you mix, you mix 3 ounces of clear, you add an ounce of reducer, that's the one, and then you add another ounce of the hardener, that's 3 to 1 to 1, right? You just made 3, 4, that's 5 ounces. If you need a little more, mix 6 ounces, right? What's half of that? 3, 6, or excuse me, uh, if you mix 6 ounces, right? You just double up the numbers. If you did 3 the first time, you double up because you need 6, then it's 2, right? 2 more ounces, and then you got your mix. It's pretty simple. When I first started, I used to have these little cups, and I would fill them all separately and make sure they were good. Okay, 2 to 1 to 1. Whether it's ounces, whether it's millimeters or whatever, that don't matter. As long as you follow that 3 to 1 mix, you'll always be good. All right, that is all I got. CoastAirbrush.com if you need stuff. And by the way, David Moning's been doing these something. It used to be live at 5. It's something at 4 now, or something like that. I forget what it's called, but I'm pretty sure most of you guys are following him already. Check out those things. He has great breakdowns, tips and tricks. We all do stuff differently, but when it comes to like being technical, there's no one better than with knowledge when it comes to Coast Airbrush. They're really good if you order from them. If you have any questions and stuff like that, hit them up and they'll answer your questions. You can email them. Even me, I've been painting since the early '90s, and I've hit them up. I've sent them emails. I've called. I've asked questions. As a matter of fact, I called them about something here. I forgot what it was. I just want to know something about the matte clear. Um, I just wanted to make sure that I was buying the right stuff and all that. And as far as paint, I will say, in my opinion, House of Color it's what I use the most. I'd say about 80%. I use House of Color. I use Createx, and recently I've been using some Exalta, but it's hard to get. Um, House of Color is really good, and Coast Airbrush is like the mecca of House of Color if you need anything and any sizes. That's the other thing that you could buy these according to your needs. If you just need a little bit, you can order. I think of as low as a 1 ounce, 2 ounces. Okay. Um, as far as painting, if you're painting and you're or airbrushing, if you say let's say you need an ounce, get 2 ounces. All right, if you can afford it, get 4 ounces, and I'll tell you why. Use it to practice first, okay? Before you go and do a model car, get some of those speed shapes, and just go out there one Saturday morning or when you're off. Make sure all sanded and prepped, wash them and all that. I got another video I posted how I wash things. The same thing. You just sand it and clean it up. Uh, Start to spray it and get into that rhythm of doing that repetitiveness of getting it. And I promise you, you'll get it. You'll get it done. It's a lot easier than you think. And people give it. I don't know why. Like I said, it's always been a thing where people have been like, "Oh, I can't clear. I gotta take this to this guy to clear and this and that." It's not that hard. So give it a shot. Let me know if you guys have any questions or anything. Hit me up. All right.